Hey guys, it's Luca. I want to go over another replay here. I thought this was a pretty interesting game. I'm playing Temur Aetherworks. I'm playing against the Naya Aetherworks. So I think this is kind of an interesting matchup because I'm not entirely convinced whether the Temur version is the best or the Naya version is the best. I think Temur is nice because you get to play Whirler Virtuoso, which gives you some extra energy cards in your deck and gives you an extra energy sink in case you don't draw your Marvel, and then also gives you access to a lot of good one mana counter spells in the sideboard. You can either play Dispel or Ceremonious Rejection. Also, Negate is not bad. The white version gives you access to Nahiri. Nahiri is theoretically very good in the mirror match because you can kill Aetherworks Marvel. I think the jury's still out because you can kind of play around it. You can use your Aetherworks Marvel at end of turn instead of using it during your turn. White also gives you Sigarda. I'm not convinced Sigarda is very good. I think this game is an example of why. So I think the white splash is mostly for Nahiri. Nahiri is in general a very powerful card. So let's get to the game. So my opponent's on the play. This is game 3, so we've both sideboarded. I think this is a really clear keep. Great hand. The only thing it's missing is a Marvel, but it has a Vessel. They can potentially find Marvel. Opponent leads on Evolving Wilds, finds Mountain. Sorry, I skipped ahead a little bit there. My opponent plays Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot on turn 2. I played a Tune on turn 1. It's my turn 2. I just want to play Woodweavers here. It's the most mana efficient play and gives me the best chance of activating Marvel on turn 4. My opponent plays Servant, so he could definitely Marvel on turn 4. I draw Aether Hub, which is really good here. It gives me a chance of finding Marvel with Vessel and then activating it next turn. So I think this is really what the mirror match comes down to. It really comes down to your Marvel activations. So whoever gets to Marvel first is really far ahead. Because if you hit Emrakul, you can use up all your opponent's energy. Also, if you get to Marvel first, you can hit Ulamog, and if you hit Ulamog, you effectively win the game on the spot. And I really believe that the mirror comes down to Ulamog. Which is why I don't like cards like Sigarda, because it doesn't really help you against Ulamog at all. So let's see. So the other thing too is cards that can kill a Marvel, cards like Nahiri, Appetite for the Unnatural, Fragmentize, Ceremonious Rejection. I think these cards, Negate, are also really good in the mirror, because you can stop your opponent's Marvel, right? And if one side is activating Marvel and the other side is not, the side that's activating Marvel will probably win like 90% of the time. So the only way around that really is to hardcast Emrakul, which usually only happens through Chandra. So Chandra is actually also pretty good in the mirror. Might be a little bit unsuspecting in that way. Okay, so my opponent plays Sigarda. So it's not a Marvel. I feel great, honestly, in this position. I crack my Vessel. I find Aetherworks Marvel, which is perfect. And now it's my turn. Play my Aether Hub. Play Aetherworks Marvel. So I think it's pretty clear here. I don't want to activate Marvel on my turn. If I hit Emrakul, I don't get to take my opponent's turn, so there's no advantage there. If I hit Ulamog, it is better to use it on my turn, but that is the only card I think that it's better to activate Marvel on my turn. Also, activating Marvel on my turn makes it easier for my opponent to know whether he's safe to attack with Sigarda or not, and it also makes it so Nahiri can kill my Aetherworks Marvel. So, also it's worse if I hit Chandra on my turn, because he can just kill it. So, pretty clear here. I want to wait till my opponent's turn. He's probably not going to attack with Sigarda, because if I hit Emrakul, I just get to eat his Sigarda. He plays Chandra, he pluses his Chandra, and plays... Oh, and cracks his Puzzle Knot. And chooses not to attack, which I think is wise. And end of turn, I get to use this Marvel, and I know I get to Marvel again the next turn because I have all these Puzzle Knots. So I activate my Marvel, hoping to hit an Eldrazi here. But I do not hit an Eldrazi, and my choices here are basically Chandra or Whirler. I already have a Chandra, and I think if I play Whirler, I can next turn play Chandra plus Chandra and get some energy, so I can activate my Marvel. So when you're playing the mirror match and you have a Marvel, your priority number 1 is to get to 6 energy every turn. If you get bonus energy past that, it can be helpful to help you get to 6 energy again the next turn, but that's really your priority number 1. So if I take Whirler here, I get to go up to 6 energy and get Chandra in play. Getting Chandra in play is usually really good in the mirror. It gives you a much easier time casting Emrakul, and sometimes your Marvels aren't going to hit Emrakul and you're going to have to hard cast Emrakul. So I'm going to take the Whirler here. It's my turn. Yeah, so I'm still going to be on the same plan here. Play Chandra, add mana, and then instead of playing Puzzle Knot, it's a little bit more mana efficient to sacrifice this Puzzle Knot. Also gives me one more card type for my Emrakul. So I'm going to add 2 mana, use that to sacrifice my Puzzle Knot. So now I can activate my Marvel. So I'm going to pass the turn. Again, I don't want a Marvel on my turn. There's no real advantage if he has Sigarda out. So he's adding mana here, and he plays Nahiri, and he discards an Emrakul, which is kind of weird since he's pretty close to casting it, and he chooses not to attack. So again, I want to hit, I'm trying to hit an Eldrazi here. Ulamog or Emrakul are both great. If I hit Emrakul, I can go eat his Nahiri. If I hit Ulamog, I probably will hit Sigarda and Nahiri, and then I'd like kill his Serpent with Chandra and kill his Chandra with the Ulamog, and the game would basically be over. So activate this Aetherworks Marvel, and again I whiff. My choices here are another Aetherworks Marvel, which is like 2 energy. A Chandra doesn't do anything here. Vessel gets me 1 energy and lets me look for something. And a Tune gets me 2 energy and an extra mana. So I think a Tune would be the best card here. The only problem is it's going to shuffle my deck. So this is something you really need to think about when you're playing the deck is if you whiff on Eldrazi, like a few Marvel activations in a row, that means that your deck is basically full of Eldrazi. So right now there's 5 Eldrazi in my deck in the top 24 cards. So I really don't want to shuffle. So I actually really don't want to get a Tune here, even though if it didn't shuffle my library somehow, it would be the best card. So I want to take the Vessel here. Maybe Aetherworks is slightly better here. That's actually... so let me think about that. The Vessel is pretty slow, but it can get me like a Puzzle Knot, so I think it's just better than Aetherworks, because Aetherworks is only getting me energy. So I'm going to take this Vessel. Now it's my turn, and I make a really big mistake here. So I think the correct play is just to keep doing what I'm doing, keep getting to 6 energy every turn, keep activating Marvel, and keep not shuffling my library. So I got a little bit greedy here. I wanted to get my Tireless Tracker rolling, and the only way to get Tireless Tracker rolling and to also get to 6 energy this turn is to sacrifice my Evolving Wilds. And the problem is, like, I shuffled my library. So I think that was a mistake here. I think the correct play here is to... Actually, if I'm committed to not shuffling my library, I think it's probably still correct to... Do you have to search your library? Okay, you still have to shuffle your library. So I think the correct play here would be to add mana with Chandra, play Puzzle Knot, and crack Puzzle Knot, and then I'd have 2 mana left, so I could play like a Vessel of Nascency or crack a Vessel of Nascency. So I think that would be the correct play here. And then I can play my Evolving Wilds, but again, I don't want to sacrifice it. So what I did do in the game, though, is I played my Tracker, which is kind of tempting. Play my Evolving Wilds, sacrifice Evolving Wilds, got an island, shuffled my deck, so it shuffled all those cards that are not Eldrazi back into potentially the top of my library, and add mana with Chandra, play this Puzzle Knot, go up to 5 energy, crack a Clue, go up to 6 energy. I didn't quite do it in that order, but that's basically what happens here, so I'm up to 6 energy. So I really believe that in the mirror you need to prioritize hitting Eldrazi off of your Aetherworks Marble and kind of just not worry about any other advantage. So I'd be happy giving up basically 2 clues and a 4/3 Tireless Tracker in play just for an extra percentage chance of hitting Ulamog off of Aetherworks Marble or Emrakul. So that was, I think, the biggest mistake that I made this game. So again, I can't attack. It's my opponent's turn. And my opponent discards Nahiri off of Nahiri, plays a Traverse for a land, which means he's going to play Emrakul here. Adds mana with his Chandra. Plays Emrakul. And doesn't attack wisely. And so at the end of his turn, I activate Aetherworks Marble. And my choices here are basically Emrakul. So I do have Emrakul, but I don't get to take his turn because he has Sigard in play. And now my opponent's controlling my turn. So I'm not sure if he played this perfectly here, but I think he did like reasonable. You really just want to run your opponent out of energy when you're taking their turn, but things are honestly really complicated. I think it's funny that there's lots of people complaining about how the Aetherworks Marble mirror is like not skill intensive or like not interesting. I think these games are extremely complicated, honestly. Making the right play every turn I don't find very simple when there's like Emrakuls on both sides and whatnot, all these like planeswalkers and stuff. And the randomness of Aetherworks Marble, I think, makes it a difficult card to play with and against because you have to account for many different potential scenarios. Anyways, getting back to the game, he's going to suicide my guys here. He's going to try to get up to 6 energy, I think, so that he can activate my Aetherworks Marble. So he used up my Vessel to find nothing, and he cracks my Puzzle Knot. Not sure if that's correct. Well, no, it probably is, because I think that might be the only way he can get up to 6. So he uses my Aetherworks Marble, chooses to get nothing, and now it's my turn again. And I draw Harness Lightning, which is honestly perfect. So I have 5 card types in my graveyard, and I have 2 energy, but I don't have an instant in my graveyard. So this is another thing I want to talk about. I really like Harness Lightning in the mirror match. A lot of people say that it's terrible in the mirror match, but I actually think it's pretty good interaction. You're basically playing combo decks against each other, so any interaction is good. Any way to slow down your opponent can be relevant. Killing a Servant is relevant early on. Killing Tracker can be relevant. Killing Sigarda, which is going to happen here, is clearly really relevant. And then it also gives you an instant. So that can be really important. Just having a few extra instants in your deck makes your Emrakuls cheaper, which is really important. And then the final thing is that sometimes it's really just a race to who can activate their Marvel first. And so you're just going to play Harness Lightning, just 2 mana, add 3 energy. So yeah, I actually think Harness Lightning is really good in the mirror, and I keep them all in. So my play here is going to be pretty clear. Once I've saw it, I can kill his Sigarda. It puts me up to 6 card types, and then cast Emrakul. So I'm going to add mana with Chandra, kill his Sigarda, and play my Emrakul. And I get to really wreck him here. Shoot, I just skipped, but his Nahiri was on 8 counters. So I used his Nahiri ultimate and chose to find nothing. And then I'm going to play his Tireless Tracker, and I'm going to kill his Tireless Tracker with Chandra, use up 2 energy with Aether Hubs, attack Servant into my Emrakul, and now he's really just left with a Nissa and a Chandra. He's going to plus his Chandra, he hits Emrakul, but he can't cast it. He only has 5 card types. Would be nice if he maybe had an instant in this game. So he hits my Chandra for 2, plays Nissa, minus his Nissa to find Emrakul, and now it's my turn. I'm in a great position here. I can basically kill his Nissa with my Chandra, kill his Chandra with my Emrakul, and then I can get up to enough energy to activate my Marvel again. So that's what I do here. Kill both his Planeswalkers, put this Puzzle Knot, crack it. Could have done that on his turn. Okay, and then the next mistake I make in this game is I crack my Vessel of Nascency right now. There's no need to do that. Definitely could have waited until his turn. Maybe I was thinking about time. But basically my choice is between Aetherworks Marvel and Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, and I'm going to take the Puzzle Knot here because I already have a Marvel, but it turns out he's going to draw a removal spell for my Marvel, so had I waited, I would have been able to find the Marvel instead. He plays, so it's his turn now. I know he has Emrakul, but his Emrakul costs 8, so he can only cast World Breaker. He's going to kill my Marvel. In response, I get to activate it. I hit Ulamog, so the game is basically over right now. So I can Ulamog. I can take his white sources away so that he can't Nahiri my Ulamog. And the game is basically over here. I plus my Chandra, hit him down to 24, attack him for 23. He opts not to block, so he goes down to 1 life. And I just play these cards in my hand, don't do anything because I don't have a Marvel anymore. And now it's my opponent's turn, and I think he scoops here. Plays a Vessel, cracks his Vessel, doesn't find anything, and scoops. So what did I learn from this game? I think that I really don't like Sigarda. I think it's only good against the mirror, and I don't think it's good against the mirror, right? So it's at its best against the mirror, and it's not particularly good there. I don't think I would ever play Sigarda. I think in the white list, you're playing lots of traverses, and so maybe instead of the Sigarda, you should play like an Ulamog. I think Ulamog is fantastic. I really like the cards in the mirror match that you can hit with a Marvel, right? So a card like Negate, although it's really good in the mirror match, you can counter their Aetherworks Marvel. It's not so great in the sense that if you can't really cast it off of a Marvel activation. So a card like Ulamog, when you're putting it in your deck, it's great if you draw it. Like you can definitely cast it for 8 mana in the mirror, or for 10 mana in the mirror if you have a Chandra in play. And it's also great hitting it off of Marvel. So to me, it's kind of like serving double duty there. And I really think the best card you can board in the mirror is Ulamog. And past that, I'm not sure. It gets kind of complicated because cards like Appetite are really good because you can kill Marvel. But at the same time, like if you're getting Emrakul, then you can be used to kill your own Marvel. So it's kind of complicated, but basically, yeah, I thought this was a pretty interesting matchup. I'm still not really sure whether the blue splash is better or the white splash is better. I think Nahiri is a fantastic card in general. So yeah, I've mostly been playing the blue version. I think the blue version's better against control because I really think the spell is huge against control, but at the same time, like Nahiri is also great against control. It's a planeswalker. So yeah, jury's still out. Hope you guys enjoy this video.